If you or someone you know has diabetes, you may have built up an extra supply of test strips and lancets. That's where we come in. We'll buy the supplies that you don't need and resell them to those in need to prevent waste. Help us make diabetes management more affordable. Visit us at teststripswithaz.com.
Tyler Diamond joining the program right now. He was scheduled to face Rafael Barboza next weekend at LFA 79 for the LFA featherweight title. The event has since been canceled, unfortunately, but luckily it has worked out for Tyler. He'll be competing this Saturday for Pure Combat in his hometown of Oroville, California. He's going to take on Justin Linn. Tyler, how are you, man?
I'm great. How are you doing? Thank you for taking the time to do this with me.
Absolutely. So how would you describe this craziness over the last few weeks? Like, you have a title fight booked. The television deal LFA has with Access TV comes to a halt. Events are being canceled, including the event you're supposed to headline. This has been quite a stretch of time, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been a little roller coaster, but you know what? That's MMA. I mean, it's not just synonymous to me. Like, I hear stories about like this all the time, you know, like this is a crazy, weird, Wild West sport. So anything can happen, and certainly it's played out for me like that.
Talk about how you got the news that you were no longer fighting Barboza and that this card just wouldn't be happening at all.
Man, I had a feeling when the TV deal fell out, but I wasn't sure, and they weren't buying my plane ticket, so I was like really confused. And then Barboza tried fighting on a different card, and I saw that on Twitter, so I like texted the promoter and my management, and they like assured me that they're like, no, the fight's on, like it's going. And then a few days later, they just ultimately text me and they're like, hey man, we're really sorry, but they're gonna postpone it. So me, I was kind of bummed, you know. I'm like, dang, I was kind of counting on this win. I was counting on making some money, you know. So I hurried up and I texted the Pure Combat promoter, who's a really good dude named Al Jocelyn. I'm like, hey, I don't think you're gonna be able to pull any strings here, but if you can get me a fight in a week and a half, like I'll take it. I don't care what weight, who it is, really. So he searched far and wide, and I can't blame any of these dudes. Like, a lot of dudes didn't take the fight. I can honestly say I probably wouldn't take a fight in a week, half notice either. But he found a game opponent who's willing, so I'm happy about that.
Did you know much about Justin when the name was presented back to you by the promotion?
No, I didn't. In fact, yeah, he told me I found you a 45er who's 8-4, and I just said, yeah, let's do it. And then I found out his name after fact, and then I looked him up, and I'm like, man, this is a pretty tough dude. He's only lost to like really high level guys. So yeah, this guy's gonna bring it.
Any talks about, I know you said the word postpone, but has there been talks about rescheduling the Barboza fight for a future date, or do you think the ship has sort of sailed at this point?
There's been no talks of it. I mean, I don't know if if they're just gonna be like, hey, we got a date, 4 weeks, or I have zero clue. And that, you know, it's just one of those things in this sport, you know. I wish I knew. I don't. So
unfortunately for Justin, I think he's most known recently for his knockout loss to Aaron Pico a couple of years ago. But to his credit, like you said, he's a tough guy. He bounced back, picked up a 5th round submission win in his last fight. And I'm sure at this point you would have been down to fight absolutely anybody. You kind of just touched on that. But as you're diving into Justin and his fights and what he brings to the table, how do you like the matchup from a stylistic perspective?
You know, I feel like I like any matchup, because I feel like I'm a bad matchup for anyone, but I'm just super pleased with the fact that he's a tough game veteran. I told Al, I said I don't want to fight against a guy with a even record or a losing record. The guy's got to have a winning record, you know. Like, I don't want to go out there and get paid to beat someone up I know I can beat up, you know. Like, I like going in there a little scared, in a sense of knowing, like, hey, if I mess up, this guy can take my head off, you know. So Justin's 8-4, but yeah, he did get slept by Pico, but he's a tough guy, man. Like, and I certainly respect the hell out of him for taking the fight on 5 days' notice. So we're gonna get in there, we're gonna do it, and it's gonna be fun.
When was the last time you fought in your hometown like this?
Oh man, I think I think the last time I fought in my hometown was March of 2016, but it feels like it's been longer than that, to be honest. And yeah, I thought that I would never fight in my hometown again. You know, like once I got on the Ultimate Fighter and I fought in the finale, like I thought I was past that. Like I thought my whole life was gonna be different. I make less money now than I did before then. You know, it's weird. This sport is so weird like that, which is why I'm looking to supplement my income through other sources, because MMA just purely doesn't pay the bills. Like unless I was in the UFC and I was active, but man, it's been a hard road.
Have you had to get that income sources from other places as of yet, or are you looking in that direction now?
I'm exploring those directions. So I'm starting a meal prep business that's set to launch here in about a month. I'm getting my real estate license, which that's the first time I've really told anyone that.
Wow.
I'm getting ready to take my state exam here in about a month and a half-ish. I got to schedule that. So, yeah, I'm going to be doing residential real estate. I'm going to have my food prep business, two things that allows me to still have a flexible schedule of training, because if you want to be the best in the world, like you have to train, you have to have time to train. And those two business ventures allow me to do that.
What got you into both of those things? You know, obviously the flexibility is huge and it's great. And,
yeah,
you know, they're both are very needed in this world right now, especially I think the meal prep thing is super important right now. Obviously real estate is important as well. It can be a very lucrative career, but what kind of brought you into those two directions specifically?
I've always been interested in the real estate thing in terms of like you're self-employed. I like the fact that in a sense, you make as much as you're willing to put in. And because, you know, when I do something, I do it with so much passion. I know that I could really be successful at that. I can talk to people fairly well. You know, and I just, I'm a man of integrity, so I'll do people right. You know, there's a lot of people out there that just kind of do it to get a paycheck and don't really care what they do along the way. So that's number one, is I've just always been interested in it. But number two, I have a mother-in-law that is in real estate, and she does pretty well. And, you know, just through talking to her through the years, it just got me even further interested. And then with the meal prep thing, like I've been meal prepping for myself. My wife has actually been meal prepping for me for a long time. Helped me with my diet and making weight, obviously. So we've gotten really good at cooking and like macronutrients and just kind of knowing what's good for me. And we would always post like our meals on our Instagram stories, and all the time people would be like, man, do you sell those? And we'd be like, no. Like, and then all of a sudden it kind of dawned on us. We're like, there is no meal prep companies in Butte County. Like, let's run with this, you know, like we could get really good at it. So this whole year has been like kind of a trial period for us in terms of like what to do, what not to do. We've been meal prepping for me, her, like her sister, and like my brother, to where we're making like a little bit of meals every week. And we've learned through trial and error. And I think we got our system down to where we're ready and fully ready to operate for business here in mid-October. We got a commissary kitchen. We got our business license, permit. We got everything we need. We're just waiting on the date pretty much.
So this is pretty exciting stuff right now. What feels better, like knowing you're about to embark on these two new journeys, or the feeling that you were having when you were heading into the Ultimate Fighter? Like, what's a little more, I guess, scary? What's a little more of a leap of faith, so to speak, in terms of mental and what you're feeling right now?
Yeah, I can honestly say both of those feelings were incredible. You know, like when I found out I was gonna be on the Ultimate Fighter, I was so excited. Like I 1000% thought I'm going to win this. Like no one can stop me. Obviously it didn't happen, right? But like that's the confidence I had. So I was super excited. But I'm just as excited for these next two things to come, because you got to think, man, I'm 28 years old. I'm married. I've been grinding my whole life for this sport, and I have no financials to show for it. You know, I've made just enough money to pay my bills every month, and I've been living that way for a long time. So if I can do these other 2 business ventures and it allows me the freedom and flexibility just to kind of breathe easier at night in terms of my bills and stuff, man, that would take a huge weight off my chest, because this sport is hard enough. It's harder when you're having to worry about, like, man, I got to do this, 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 and this to be able to pay my bills this month, which I love it. I love the grind, and I love, like, going out and just getting after it. But it'll be nice when I'm doing that and I can actually buy some things I want every once in a while.
Yeah, I can feel that as well, being a member of the media. What's the flagship meal? What's the flagship meal the meal prep serves? What's the one that's going to be the best seller, the one that's going to get everyone on board, in your opinion?
In my opinion, our best meal is going to be either like a Chipotle type bowl that we do, or it's going to be chicken that I cook on the Traeger, some green beans that we pan-sear with like mashed sweet potatoes. But those are 2 that I like the best personally. But we got like 25 menu items right now. We'll be offering 5 different meals a week. So I think it's going to do well, man. Like, everyone at some point wants to eat healthy, and we're not going to go into the regular mold of meal prep where everything is like ultra healthy and you get tired of it after a couple days. Yeah. Like, we got street tacos on the menu. We got burgers on the menu, like no bun, obviously. But we're going to have healthy, fun stuff that people are really going to enjoy.
How is married life? I heard you were recently married. You talked about your wife. You guys are going to do this business together. How long have you been married? How are you enjoying it so far?
Man, we've only been married since August 3rd. So
wow.
Not long now. Man, after I fought in May, it was literally a full-time job getting ready for this wedding, because we decided to do it on my aunt's property to save money. It didn't save money at all, and if anything, it just took up all my time. But we wouldn't change it. But man, it was a lot of work. Oh my gosh, I can't even begin to tell you. But so that was super exciting. Yeah, man. So the married life is good, but what's weird is, we got married. We went on our honeymoon, and I signed my LFA fight contract on my honeymoon. As soon as I signed my contract, within 5 minutes, she could tell, like, I was antsy, and she's like, "You want to go work out?" And I'm like, "I have to go work out." So I went and worked out. I stopped eating ice cream cones on my honeymoon, went and worked out super hard. And then as soon as we got back, the next day I was training, and I couldn't help myself. I had to, and it's just been funny. But we're in a different situation, like, I basically rent a couch down here in Sacramento, where I'm down here Monday through Friday. And then I go back up north to see her because we want to eventually settle up north in Butte County. That's where we want to be. But my job, my training is down here in Sac. So what do? When I'm in fight camp, I'm here. When I'm not, I'm up there. And on weekends, I go up there, and we make do.
At 28 years old, to find someone who understands what you're trying to do here, that's pretty special. I mean, it really is. I'm 30. I'm going to be 37 in February. So I get that. I found someone that's like, go after it. But how important is that for you? How satisfying is that for you that you found somebody at 28 years old that understands your lifestyle, what you need to do to get to where you want to be?
Yeah, it's the best. I mean, I was 23 when I met her. She was 19. So this isn't anything new. I kind of like conditioned her to it, I guess you could say. But, man, I think 9 out of 10 women would not be cool with this. I mess around with her all the time. I'm like, I'm a bum. Like, why are you with me? Like, why do you love me? Like, and it doesn't matter to her. And yeah, she sees the end goal just like I do. And she's fully supportive. So, I mean, I already got financials to worry about all the time. The last thing I want to worry about is my wife being unhappy, because, happy wife, happy life. So I keep her happy. But, yeah, it definitely helps that she's understanding and she sees the end goal, and she just, she's just with the program. And, gosh, yeah, I'm forever grateful for that.
How do you see this all going down on Saturday night?
Man, it's going to be a tough fight. I'll tell you what, like, I'm not going to be able to punch him in the mouth, and he's just going to turtle up. Like, he's going to be tough, but, I think that I'm going to be able to box him up pretty good. maybe put him to sleep early. I don't know. I mean, I got knockout power throughout the whole fight, so I'm really going to try and finish it on the feet and get after it.
Honestly, and I'm not just blowing smoke up your ass because you're sitting right in front of me virtually right now, but is the fact that you're not in the UFC just so ridiculous to you? Because, I mean, listen, I'm happy for everyone that gets an opportunity. I want you guys and gals to go to the UFC or whatever it is that you can get paid the most money possible because you deserve that. And
yeah,
you know, most athletes in sports are making lots of money. You guys deserve that as well. But there are folks who've gotten their shot in the UFC who haven't done what you've done, have not put together the kind of resume you put together. You're as UFC ready, in my opinion, as any of those guys and gals, if we're being honest here. Am I making sense of this? Like, why hasn't this happened in your opinion?
Oh, man. No, you're totally right. Like, dude, a big part of being in the UFC is truly getting lucky. Like, there's a lot of guys that just get really lucky and get their opportunity and somehow get put on. I mean, a guy just fought in the UFC this weekend. He happened to win, but prior to that, he had 7 wins and their combined record was 3-57. Like, are you kidding me? You know what I mean? Like, I take pride in fighting tough dudes, and this guy's out there fighting bums for a gladiator challenge. Like, that's just crazy to me. But anyway, you know, sometimes it really bugs me. I'm like, what the heck? You know, like, I train with UFC guys every day. Like, I know I have been more than ready for a long time. And it's frustrating seeing guys that, you know, are in the UFC and come to our gym and train, and I just mop the floor with them, and it's just like, how pathetic that this guy makes 10 times what I make, and I could kill him. You know, it's frustrating, but at the same time, I don't like having I don't like going through life frustrated and mad and having the why me attitude. So I really try and look at it from a different perspective in terms of like, hey, it's not like you haven't had your shot. You did. It just didn't work. I mean, there's nothing else I could have done to make it work. Like, I truly gave it my all. But, you know, I lost in the semifinals of the Ultimate Fighter, and then I got a shot in the finale, and I lost a close fight that shouldn't have been that close, you know? So, ultimately, at the end of the day, it's on me, but it's also on me to get back, and that's what I'm trying to do right now by beating an undefeated guy in May and now fighting this tough guy here in a couple days.
Do you feel like you're close here? Like, what do we need to do to make this thing happen here? Like, how close are we? If you know, just throwing a couple bucks on it. If you threw a couple shekels on it, you win this fight, you win a couple more. How close do you think we are?
Man, I mean, I would say I'm close right now. Like, they could call me right now and I would do it. I would hope, you know. And I have actually almost got the opportunity here at UFC Sacramento. I almost fought Jakar Close at 155. For whatever reason, that fight didn't come to fruition. They pushed Jakar Close back a couple weeks instead of me fighting him. But I told them I was down. They called me within 2 seconds. I said, yeah, there was no hesitation on my end. So it's close. I've gotten called for UFC Minneapolis, UFC Sacramento, all of which I obviously said yes. But so it's close, man. I mean, a win certainly can't hurt, right? So, man, hopefully I win this fight and I get called. Who knows? I'm just going to focus on what I can control, and that's training super hard and winning these fights.
Yeah, you got a lot going on anyway, so, you know, either way, you're in a good position. You're setting yourself up for success, so, and that's great stuff. I'm glad we got the chance to chat and catch up, Tyler. I'm excited. Homecoming fight for you on Saturday against Justin Linn for the Pure Combat promotion. Thanks for jumping on, man. I really appreciate it. Before we let you go, let the folks know where they can find and follow you on the web, social media, any shout-outs, anything else you want to get off your chest, man. The floor is yours.
For sure. Well, first off, thank you for doing this with me and giving me the coverage. And I wish success for you because you're going into a hard business too. It's really hard to make a name for yourself in that business, you know. So kudos to you. As far as sponsors, I have no shortage of support. Like, my town, Oroville, treats me great. Like, they love me. I love them. I got to give a shout out to Lana's Egg Whites, Muscle Cups Coffee, Amino Acids Plus Coffee. It's the only coffee I drink now. Valley Maintenance in Dixon, California. Vanessa Rutledge Photography, and Michelle Townsend, who also sponsored me. The sweetest lady ever, and she just, you know, makes sure that things such as my gym fees are taken care of to where I at least don't got to worry about that. So I appreciate all those people and just anyone else that supports me. And then once again, thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Tyler. All the best to you this weekend. Good luck on those new businesses. I'm excited for you.
Heck yeah. Thank you.